Hi guys, so the news about the new best in slot items have been out for a few hours, and I've had some time to think about it. And spoiler alert, this is going to be a bit of a ranty video because I'm not too happy. I've kind of decided that I hate the Sanguine power that Tipsoft has announced because I think it is just super boring. The proposed implementation of the Sanguine power will basically give each weapon an extra damage to a core spell. So for Knights, that is Fierce Berserk. For Paladin, this is Divine Caldera. For Sorcerers, this is Great Fire Wave and Energy Wave. And for Druids, this is Strong Ice Wave and Terror Wave. And, those things are useful, but they are so uninspired and so boring. I mean, functionally speaking, by adding extra damage to a core rotation spell, all you're doing is you're basically just increasing a little bit of damage for that character. It's not very interesting. It's, for an example, for EKs, there is no difference between adding, for example, just one extra attack onto the weapon versus increasing Fierce Berserk by like 3 or 4% damage, right? If the numbers are made up, but basically you could just add some extra attack, and because this is a core spell and every single EK uses that in the rotation, it's just a flat increased damage to the character as a whole, and it's just super boring. It's literally no different than just increasing the attack by +1. Now, in my opinion, considering this is one of the rare best in slot updates, I think it should be something more interesting. It should be something that introduces a new mechanic of sorts. It should be something that allows you to do something a little bit different. And I really felt that Tipsoft were going in the right direction with this. They've added, on the Eldritch Great Axe, when you, with the melee attack, you've got the splash onto 2 extra characters. I thought that was really cool, even if it's not very useful. I like the idea. Also with the Eldritch Axe, right? And now with the Spirit Thorns, a damage reflection. Again, it's quite a new mechanic. It's quite interesting. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's just a new mechanic and it's quite interesting. And I felt like that is the place to implement such mechanics when you introduce new best in slot weapons. So, add some life drain damage or increase vampirism at least, right? I mean, we had the soul weapons 3 years ago, and they increased your crit damage and they increased your leech for EKs at least. And it's not super exciting, but it's something. It's a new mechanic, right? It's a unique aspect of those weapons that gives you a certain benefit. But these new sanguine items, it's nothing. It's literally your core spell will just deal a little bit more damage. I mean, come on, that's just so boring. And there are just so many things that Tipsoft really could be adding. I mean, if you insist on doing something quite boring like adding extra damage, at least do not add it to a core spell, right? If you're adding it to a core spell, it's just a flat damage increase that everyone gets because they always use that spell. How about you use it to an underused spell to make, the player consider a different spell? For example, just throwing some ideas out there for an EK. Why don't you add this Sanguine power to be related to the Whirlwind Throw, right? You implemented the Whirlwind Throw in the Wheel of Destiny, a couple of updates ago, and nobody really uses it, as far as I know. Make the Sanguine power, increase the amount of monsters which the Whirlwind Throw affects, increase its damage, reduce its cooldown, do something interesting. Jesus, like, it's just so boring and I'm so disappointed. And don't get me wrong, those weapons are going to be super strong and they're going to be amazing to use and I'm going to want them. But it's just so boring. I really just want something new from this game. And I really thought Tipsoft was going in the right direction with, like I mentioned, right, the splash damage, the even something like perfect shot on a paladin. I really like this sort of new mechanic, and having to play a little bit different, having to think about how to build your character a little bit different. This proposed solution now for Sanguine powers changes absolutely nothing for your character. It doesn't make you play in any different way in no circumstances. It's just basically plus some extra damage. It's yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm not super optimistic that Tipsoft will change this. Maybe, maybe I'm definitely going to leave a comment on the test server support board when it's available. Because yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed just because it's just not very interesting. But anyway, that's all for me. Sorry about the rant. Let me know what you think about the new powers in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.